Hello, how'd you do? I'm not broken, I'm just split in two. Hope you're fine, ain't got time to do everything you said you would. Frames of the past and the memory of you just come running by. Pictures of sunny days with your smile and the bar. How could they say I was broken? How could they say you made me come undone? Now I know that it's okay. Unlike my friends, you are nothing like them. How could they say I was broken? How could they say you made me come undone? Now I know that it's okay. Unlike my friends, you are nothing like them. Try to be cool, even wear that shirt you wanted to. My friends think I'm lame. Since I met you, I am not the same. It was not meant to be a fairy tale with a happy end. Girl, you take care now. I hope we can be friends. How could they say I was broken? How could they say you made me come undone? Now I know that it's okay. Unlike my friends, you are. How'd you do? I'm not broken, I'm just split in two. Hope you're fine, ain't got time. I'm not broken, not broken, not broken. How could they say I was broken? How could they say you made me come undone? Now I know that it's okay. Unlike my friends, you are nothing like them. Unlike my friends, you are nothing like them.
Well, y'all, before I got my day started today, I wanted to come back here in the swamp and see if the water was too high to go fishing or not. Ladley has been begging me to come back here, and whenever I got back here, there was two things. Well, first thing is that I wanted to check our boat, and the other thing was this bridge. Are you like me and you've ever realized that you're always the one behind the camera and never actually in the memories? So this little thing right here has completely changed that for us, and especially me. This is the Hover Air X1. It's basically our personal flying cameraman. All I have to do is press this little button and it lifts right off of my hand. And it just follows us around. No remotes, no complicated setup. Even Ladley was able to work this thing. And also, we don't have to ask anyone to film for us. And one of the best parts is that I'm actually able to capture moments with her. We can run, it can chase her down the road, we can spin, we can just be goofy, and it keeps us perfectly in the frame. It has present flying modes like follow and orbit, a dolly track, so it makes everything look like we hired a whole entire production crew, but really it's just this thing that fits right in my pocket. And y'all, as a mom, I don't really want perfect, I just want real. This lets me capture those real moments, the laughs, the messy hair, and all the in between, and whenever we're done, it just lands right back in my palm. That's it. So if y'all are like me and you're tired of being the one who never is actually in the memories, y'all, this is the new best thing. This is the Hover Air X1, and y'all, honestly, it feels like having a little flying memory keeper with us. So if y'all want to check this out, make sure to head to the link that's going to be listed in the description and get your hands on one of these. As y'all know, we deal with camera things constantly. The world is constantly changing, getting better and better, and Hover Air is keeping up with the times. And y'all, this little product from Hover Air is definitely keeping up with the times. I cannot wait to use this some more. Cannot wait to show y'all footage that you've never seen before, because I'm actually going to be able to catch those shots now. So thank you, Hover Air, for making my job literally easier and for sponsoring this video. The water has been coming up and down a lot. It's been fluctuating with all this rain that we've been having. But sometimes even whenever we get a lot of rain, it doesn't make that much of a difference back here and we can still come and fish. I guess that we got enough rainwater to completely wash this bridge out. It is completely toppled over, flipped, and has actually just started to float down this river. Oh, Gus! Gussie! Come on, Bubba. Come here. Oh no. Hey, it's okay. Come on. It's okay. It's okay. Look. There we go. Okay. Yeah, let's go. All right, well, Gus just about drowned if anybody missed that one. Gus, what was you thinking? All right, well, at least Gus is okay. That's actually the first time that's ever happened back here. He's typically really good, but I think that he missed his step or something. You okay? Huh? It's a good thing we didn't bring Scout, huh? All this water that's back here in this slough comes right through here and funnels through this little cross section that we had the bridge on, and then continues downstream, which ends up opening up way down into the river. That current is strong. I don't really know what's underneath there. I don't know if there would have been a gap for him to go through, but thankfully I did not have to figure that out. If y'all have been watching us for any amount of time, you know that typically our boat sits in the water over there, and I'm not seeing it. Just slightly concerning. So let's walk around there and try to find it. I can kind of see the boat trailer through there, but let's just go over there and assess. This is a prime example of why we bring the boat out whenever the water comes up. I guess we're lucky that the trailer stayed in one place. But what we had done was that we had tied the boat to the trailer. So the water came up as high as you can see where the boat's at, and it caused the boat to float to this spot, and then whenever the water went down, it stayed in one place. Unfortunately, it didn't follow the water back out. But this is the boat that we call the SS Minnow. You can tell by the size and the color that that's fitting. But even though this boat is small, it is ridiculously heavy. So I don't think I'm going to try to tackle this alone today for two reasons. First reason is I've got some plants that I need to get planted, but the second reason is because I saw some wasps coming out of somewhere whenever I walked up to this. And I really don't know where at this time. Plus, I think that I've already had enough excitement for my morning with Gus almost drowning, so heck if I know, but we can tackle this together whenever we come back here to fish. Oh man, always something, y'all, always something. Is it just me or does that look like an alligator head? It's churning away from the current. Too much excitement for one morning, too much excitement. Hey.
Hey.
If you have just a second.
Yeah.
Look at your dog.
Come here, Gus. My God, boy, where you been?
Gus went to walk across that bridge. He was stuck between the, what do you call them big old wood pieces?
Oh, them big bridge timbers?
So two of those timbers are left, all the other ones washed out. So Gus went to walk across them, and I guess he found a hole, and he was pressed up against it and couldn't get out. Yeah.
Oh,
so I
boy.
had to go out there and get him.
You sure look like you've been up against it. You're wet. You go back there with Mama and she sets you up for failure. You little fatty cakes. You little fatty cakes. You too. You too. Come here.
Okay, well that was it. So if you notice how dirty he is, it's because he almost perished today. So maybe he deserves an extra treat or 7.
Yeah, poor old fella. Oh well, he needed a bath anyway. It hadn't rained in a few days.
Okay, I'll leave you to it. Along with going to check the boat this morning and see how high the water is, my chore for the day is to get these plants moved out of these containers. In this lower barrel that is divided in half is grapes that have never produced, but we're still going to keep trying. Maybe they just take a few years. If anybody has any tips and tricks on the grape situation, please let me know. I know that it's going to grow on a vine, so if I need to put up some type of lattice or some type of fencing back here, definitely do that. Then back here in this bigger trough is actually a bunch of blackberries. Today, I really need to get them out of this trough and get these things moved out of the way. Not only are they a sore sight, but on top of that, this container is actually starting to cave in on itself. And every time that we go to move them, it's just causing it to fall more and more and more. So the game plan is to take them out and plant them right here. So right now I am kind of near the chicken coop, not close enough that the chickens are going to be able to reach them, but I'm close enough to get some shade from this tree in the summer. But overall, I think that this is going to be a really good location, a little bit of shade, good moisture. It holds a decent amount of water here, but it's not where it's going to be sopping wet. So fingers crossed is a good location. Maybe we'll start with these blackberry bushes first. Thinking about 9 blackberry, I don't even know if I should call these a bush. I guess that they're technically a bush, but man, they never developed like them. They're actually already starting to come into season. That's why I wanted to go ahead and do it around this time. Plus the ground's gonna be softer because we just got some rain. If you can tell, every one of these really tall ones, the ones that are actually starting to bud out, are kind of different looking than the shorter kind of broken up ones, and those are actually the ones that I started from a seed, I think 2 or 3 years ago now, but they've never produced. They've grown really big, but they never ever had a blackberry on them, so I'm hoping that this year is the year for them. I know some fruits and vegetables take a year or 2 for them to get, I don't know, acclimated or seasoned, whatever you want to call it. It's probably a proper term, but I'm definitely not a horticulturist. Horticulture? I don't think that's right. Horticulture? I'm not a horticulturist, if that's a word, obviously, if you can't tell. But what I do know, I'm a gardener per se. I'm definitely a gardener. I just am not a good gardener. As you can tell, I am very mediocre. My homesteading skills are mediocre. I bring a lot to the table, but growing plants is definitely not one of them. But I'm working on it, y'all. I'm working on it. So if y'all have any tips and tricks on what I should be doing here, please let me know. I actually Googled how far apart to put these plants, and it does say to put them about 3 to 4 feet apart. Now, these are not very big. I know that they are probably going to get big, but they are thornless, so I am going to put them like 2 to 3 feet apart. Look at me, I'm already starting to go against what Google says. Okay, I need 9 holes. Then, whenever I get that done, we'll worry about these grapes after that. I think online it said to make these holes as deep as Scout is long. Oh, look, it's perfect. Well, maybe that one needs to be a little bit deeper. Just a little bit. I don't know. I think I would want your little cute head sticking out. I think a chicken just laid. Can y'all hear? Okay, I think my best bet is just going to be to try to dig these out instead of pulling them out. But I do think we put some of that fabric in here on the bottom, which is extremely unfortunate because the roots are probably hung up in it a little bit. Hopefully they're just not too root bound. I really just don't want to dig in here because I know the cats come in here, fertilize this, so I would rather not have to dig in there if I don't have to. That's probably not healthy. We're gonna plant it and see how it goes. I'll plant them in the same order that they were in. That way we know if some of them die, it's from me ripping them out so bad. Okay, that one has a little bit more dirt to it. You know, in Harry Potter, whenever they pull the little plant guy out, that's what it looks like. That's like the only scene from Harry Potter that I know. That or whenever they cut the guy's hand off, and hopefully we won't be doing that today. Two of these were dead. Just gonna get rid of them. I would like to do something with this sole that's left in here, but either way, I've got to take out this fabric that's in here. Ideally, I'd love to be able to put some of the sole in where the chickens have their run at. Just some fresh sole that they can dig around in. I got to get this out first, finally. So I've got 2 holes left, which works out because I don't think anything, well, there might be something growing in that, but I don't think it's alive. And I got 2 holes here. Now, whenever I looked it up, you're supposed to put grapes even further apart, but in my professional opinion, which is 0, I will not be doing that because I do not want to have to dig 2 new holes. So we'll just use the existing holes and try it out and see. Okay, I'm gonna bring this up and show y'all, but tell me if this is dead or not. I don't know if it got froze or what the deal is, but I don't know. I'll go ahead and plant it unless y'all say otherwise, but the roots have, I mean, these roots do look, no, I don't know. There's some new growth right there, I guess. I'll go ahead and plant it and let me know if y'all think it's alive or dead. This one definitely has more new growth on it.
Yeah, I'm yours, and now we're singing. I have made a lot of mistakes. I have been too self-involved, been protective of my feelings, but somehow you made me fall. You got underneath the surface and you shattered every wall. And I know I got that feeling, there's no question anymore. And now
Typically at this point, what I would want to do is go in there and spread it around with a rake, but I know that the chickens are really gonna enjoy digging through it. So I'll just come back out here in a few hours, let them dig through it, kind of be a little enrichment for them. We need to put a little bit of dirt in there anyway, so it ain't hurting nothing, but I'll let them dig around in it, find some worms, do whatever they want to do, and then I'll get in here later on tonight and spread it around to where it needs to go.
I was quietly protective of my heart to reassure that it couldn't break to pieces and be left alone once more. You got underneath the surface and you shattered every wall. And I know I got that feeling, there's no question anymore. And now I stand here